Well, howdy again, folks. It's Rick from the Boondocking Bears. Well, the Sony a6000 camera has arrived. I did a little video saying I picked that up, sniped it from eBay. I've had it for about a week. I've been playing around with it. I'm not going to do an unboxing or a review video. Just going to give you my thoughts after a week of playing with this absolutely amazing machine. And I'm not going to do a review because that would require me to be an actual photographer and know what I'm talking about and understand what aperture is and ISO. I thought ISO was in search of, but anyway, shutter speeds and all that stuff. I don't have a clue about that. I just want to do what probably most of you folks want to do, which is when you're traveling, have the opportunity to take some great shots and do it without having to get an engineering degree. So this Sony a6000 is phenomenal, and that's what this review is about. Okay, so this is the Sony a6000. You can see it's kind of small. It's a mirrorless camera. It is absolutely amazing. A pro could use this very satisfactorily to shoot weddings or whatever they're going to shoot, or an amateur like me finds it very easy to use. I've actually been able to figure out a little bit of the manual mode, and I've made some shots in that, but you can put it on fully automatic and this thing takes some great pictures. This is the back of it. You can see it has a little screen and that tilts about. So it's just an easy camera to use, and it takes phenomenal shots. So for you, the folks that know a little bit about cameras, this thing will shoot in RAW or in JPEG for still photography. Now, I didn't even know what the difference was, and for run and shoot, when you're just taking some shots, JPEG is fine. RAW is the more professional style or format of photography, and the files are ginormous compared to a JPEG. And the pictures actually come out looking kind of flat and dull, but they have about 100 times more resolution and detail in there. And if you're going to edit your video, edit your stills in Photoshop, then you want to shoot in RAW because you can do some miraculous things with that format, whereas the JPEG you can't. But 99 times out of 100 I would shoot JPEG just because it's easy, though I do like to edit in Photoshop. So I have shot some raw images, and I'm going to show some samples of what I've done here in the first week. And this camera is amazing. I just can't believe what it will do. So this has got a Sony lens on it. I also have this little Sigma lens, and this is what I'm going to shoot video with on my next video. It's a pretty amazing little lens. This Sigma lens is I think a 50mm f1.8, which is fantastic for depth of field and close-ups, but not the best for me for doing video. This one though is ideal. I've just done a couple little tests and I love this little lens. There's another lens here by Minolta. Haven't a clue what this does, haven't even tried it yet, but I will eventually. And then I have this, let me put that down. I have this screw-on fish eye lens that goes onto the Sony, and that's supposed to do some fancy things. I don't know what it does, but we'll find out. One of the things that I really love about this though is, especially for me who travels with Little Bear, and I want to take some shots of me and the dog and the motorcycle or the Can-Am Spider, and maybe have the Rocky Mountains in the background or something. My eyesight isn't the best, and of course, how am I going to do that when I'm on my own and the camera's on a tripod? So that's the picture that the camera's looking at right now, which is probably just my arm, but there it is on the remote. So I have a live feed remote. Let me put that so it's, I don't know, I'm looking at something. Anyway, let's look at the back of here. But there's the live feed remote of the actual picture, and I can actually, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. Whoops, what did I do? Cut. I'm going to come back to this. I'm beginning to hate iPods. I'm seriously beginning to hate iPods. iPads, whatever the heck this thing is. You can tell I'm really into this technology. I'm not, believe me. I find it frustrating as heck, especially the iPad. Okay, so here's one of the main features that I love about this Alpha 6000. I have remote control of it through my iPad. So I'm sitting here, and if I want to do a selfie, I'm out in front of the Rocky Mountains somewhere. I've got Little Bear and I've got the Can-Am Spyder, and I want to get a shot with the mountains in the background. It's really difficult to do when you're on your own. The iPad and the remote control feature of this Alpha 6000 is the answer. So now I can set the camera up, put it on a tripod, aim it, compose the shot, and then I can watch it from my iPad, and when I've got it framed exactly the way I want, I can literally, on a time delay, hit this little button, and now it's going to take a picture. And there we go. It just took a picture, and I can see it here. I can send it out to Facebook or whatever I want to do. Probably won't do anything. But that's one of the main features that I love about this A6000. Okay, one of the other main things that I love about this, and I think you guys are going to love this too, are the Sony apps that you can download for the camera. Now, I don't know any other manufacturer like Canon or Nikon that are doing this. I think Sony has a huge winner here for people like me, or maybe people like you that aren't professional photographers but want to get a professional photographer look to your pictures. So they have these apps. One of them, the first one I downloaded, was called Time Lapse. Well, that's kind of self-explanatory, and I haven't really played with that one yet. Then there was one, what was the other one called? Remote Control, which is the iPad. And then this one called Smooth Reflections, and I'm going to show you some examples of what this does. But this is an amazing app because it replaces ND filters and does a whole lot of things to make your photography, or to make your photographs look phenomenally good and phenomenally professional without A, investing a lot of money in filters and other equipment, and B, you can do it as an amateur. So I'm going to show you some samples, as I said, of the pictures, and hey, you can see what you think. But I am not a professional photographer. I'm not even a good photographer. In fact, this is the first camera I've ever owned that isn't a point and shoot. And even those I had trouble with. So when you see the pictures at the end here, I think you get the idea that this thing is amazing, and even an idiot like me can actually use it. Okay, one of the other things that I haven't experimented with yet is the video quality of this. Now that's a little bit unfair. I did do a little shot and it was amazing, but I haven't really played around with the settings yet. But I did buy this to do video. So the next video that's coming up will be shot on this. The one that I'm shooting right now is on the Canon Vixia HF-R 400. The next one will be on the Alpha 6000. You can see the difference when I get there. But the little test I did, it did show a phenomenal difference. Now, the nice thing with this is I'm in a confined area here, and the lenses become very important. For example, the Canon that I'm shooting on now just has the fixed lens. So I have to zoom in, zoom out, or move the camera tripod to get the framing that I want. And I find with the zooming, I get noise in the video. The quality goes way down. So really, I have to move the tripod to be able to get the right frame and a clean picture. Well, this, I just changed the lens. So I tried this lens at first, found it was way too close to my face. The camera and the tripod is only 3 feet from my face with this picture as we're shooting, and it's set to that because I've got it prepared to use this camera on it for my next video. And I will use the Sony lens, the Sigma lens for that, because it's I don't know what millimeter it is, but anyway, it shoots a little bit wider, not as wide as this shot, but it frames really nicely and it gives me good quality. Now, there is one downside that I don't like about the A6000, and I knew it had this feature before I bought it, so I went in with my eyes wide open. The A6300, the next one up from this, has corrected it, but this one doesn't have it. However, the A6300 is like $2,000, and I am never spending $2,000 on a camera, so I can live with it, and it has to do with the audio. There's no external jack to put an external microphone on this. So I'm going to try to start this video. Oh, I haven't got the battery in the right way. That's not the battery. Something's wrong here. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'll figure it out. But I can't use an external microphone on this thing. So in the test that I did earlier, when I set this camera up and did a little bit of video, in a small confined area like this with no background noise, the onboard microphone was fine. It did a great job. But if I'm out in the park somewhere and there's wind or background noise, I don't think this will do very, very well. So I'll do what I've always done, which is this. This is a Zoom, an H1 Zoom recorder, and it's attached to this lav mic. I've used this for a couple of years now. It's fantastic. It just gives you excellent audio. I do have to sync it up with the video at the end in post, but it's one step. And it's not $2,000 compared to going to the a6300. So that's one of the downsides to this camera. But other than that, I can't find anything wrong with this thing. This is, I'm stunned, to be truthful. Anyway, that's the a6000. Coming up next are some videos, or sorry, some stills of photography I've taken in the last week. I'm not a pro, don't laugh, you can make comments below. But for me, I think they're phenomenal compared to what I'm used to doing. So anyway, there it is. That's the a6000. I would highly recommend it if you're, even if you're a pro. What the heck? I mean, if you're a pro, a lot of pros are using this already. But if you're not a pro, it's easy to use. Just stick it on auto, pick the lens you want, and go. Now, the one thing I will want to pick up for this, I should mention, is I don't have a zoom lens. And I took Little Bear to the dog park earlier this week, and I found I really needed a zoom lens because it's hard to get Little Bear to sit still, and if I get too close to him, he just jumps away. So a zoom would have been ideal for that, and I will get that eventually, but I really want to learn the camera before I invest any more money into it. So that's the one thing I'm missing, but not the end of the world. I love the camera. I highly recommend it. I make no money off this, so it's just a free recommendation. And enjoy, folks. Sony a6000. I can't believe it. I forgot to start the audio. So the audio on this video sucks. I'm an idiot.